Okay, Mitch Patrick Fitzsimmons back here with continuing on with the scripting tutorial. This is going to be part 4, and who knows, there's probably going to be a part 5. I keep forgetting that I'm using a trial version of the Bandicam software to do these videos because for some reason my full version of HyperCam 64, which really produces better quality videos, was getting choppy. It was bogging down, so I don't know if that was just something wrong with the server or what. But we can still continue on from here. And actually, what a great place it left off on the last video, huh? So I'll continue on. I think what we did is we left off with the random light on function. We're going to talk about that. And so the random light on function, what that does is it randomly turns lights on. And the first thing it does is turns off all the lights. And so that's why we've got these other functions to turn on and off individual lights. We've got the list temp that we have declared as a global variable. Now we're going to define it right here. So temp equals list randomize lights by step 1. And so it's going to populate this list temp from whatever is in this list randomized lights 1. Now you remember up here in our global variables we have declared that list lights is red, yellow, green. Just three simple string variables in that list. And so we're going to randomize that list, populate the list temp, and then we're going to determine what the first item in that randomized list is going to be. So if list to string temp, right, our randomized list called temp, which is just a temporary list, the first thing, which is item 0 in that list, if it equals red, then we're going to turn on the red light, and we're going to set this global variable of winner to false. So if we get a red light, we don't win. We lose. Same thing with list of string temp. If it equals yellow, we're going to turn on the yellow light, and it's going to say that the winner is false, and so it's not going to give us a congratulations until we get to if list to string temp comma 0 equals green. Then it's going to turn on the green light, and it's going to say the winner is true, and then it's going to say after every little iteration here, remember we have a blink 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 kind of thing going on, and that happens in the next function, which is the play game function, but we're getting too far ahead of ourselves here. And I got to remember, I've only got 10 minutes, so we're at 3:20 right now. Oh boy, here comes somebody that's going to IM me. Let's see if I can get through this in 10 minutes. I doubt it. So, continuing on, we're just going to get this little message. It's going to say list to string temp, the first item in the list. So it's going to tell us what light is going to be the active light turned on, and whether or not that light is a winning light or not. And so remember, our functions turn on red, turn on yellow, turn on green. Remember, when we use those functions, it turns off all of the other lights, right? And so we call turn on yellow, for instance. It's going to turn off the red, turn off the green, and then turn on the yellow. And so it's going to tell us that in the temporary list that we've randomized, that color corresponds to what is actually in the list. So we know that the randomization is true, and what we do is we randomize it 3 times on top of each other, so we kind of get double randomization there. And like I said, well, in the last video that didn't get recorded, I've already gone through all this once. Randomization can be done in several different ways. You can create a random number generator. Mathematically, you can do it that way. I find that just creating a little list here, since it worked for our purpose, we only have 3 lights that we're actually randomizing determining one of them to be a winner. So this little method of randomization really does work, and as you can see, and we've already demonstrated before. And so in the play game function, this is where things actually start to happen when we're playing the game. It's going to randomize lights on 3 times. It's going to sleep for 1 second in between until we get to the 3rd time, and then it's going to sleep for 0.25, which is 1/4 of a second. And then if the winner is true, it's going to say, congratulations, you won. And then it's going to message linked back to our button, because we've changed that script a little bit too. It's going to give us a reset back to the button script, and I'll show you why in a minute. So if the winner is true, it's going to say, congratulations, you won. Else, if the winner is false, it's going to say, sorry, try again. And in both cases, we're going to give that message linked message back to our button. And like I said, I'll show you why in a minute. But first, let's go into where the default state is here in our main script, and just we'll take a look at that. So as we go into the state entry, it's going to turn off the lights. And that's just sort of to reset things back to like a default state where everything's kind of shut down. And then we've got our link message. Okay, remember before in our first video we used this get object data function to get all of those link numbers that we're now using in all of our user-defined functions. And so we're going to comment that out because we're not going to use that anymore. So now our link message from the button is going to tell us to play the game. It's going to turn off the lights, and then it's going to sleep for 2 seconds. And we don't really have to have those little sleeps, but we can change that around. We can use them or not use them. It doesn't matter. And then it's going to turn on the lights. So we're going to get all the lights shut off, all the lights come on, and then it's going to shut all the lights off again. And then it's going to sleep for 2 more seconds, and then it's going to do our play game function, which, remember, we just went over. It's going to randomize 3 times and then select a winner. And so that is basically the setup for the game. Let's see how much time we have. 7.5. Okay, I think we might be able to get through this. I'm going to go back into this button script, and I'm going to show you what we did to change a little bit of that around. And so we've got a new variable up here, global variable called player, and in the state entry we have nulled it out, so player equals nothing. And then we've declared once somebody has touched the button, the detected key will be the population for the player variable. Remember, this global variable up here is a key that we're actually going to be using excuse me, in our link message that's going to go to the root prim. So when somebody touches the button, it's not only going to say touched, which it really doesn't have to because we're not really filtering, but it is going to send the player key. And then we're going to go into another state, state 2. And why? Let's see if I can finish. Okay, 8.5. Why are we going to go to another state when we're playing the game and somebody's playing the game? And the simple reason is, if there's somebody else that walks up and touches the button, we need to determine, hey, somebody's already playing the game, and you're going to have to wait till they're done before you can play. So we're going to go into state 2, and we're going to whisper that so-and-so is playing the game, our player, right? Key to name player is playing. And if somebody touches the button while we're in state 2, it's going to tell them, sorry, but sorry, Joe Blow, XYZ guy is already playing. Please wait your turn. And then we're going to have this link message. Remember, we got the reset, so we're waiting for a link message from the main script to tell us that, hey, we're all done. Go ahead and reset, go back into the default state so you can clear out the player and you're ready for a new player to walk up and press the button. And so we're at 9:39. I think I'm just barely going to finish this out just in time. And I think what I'm going to do is do another follow-up video, so there probably will be a part 5, because we can still trim this down a little bit, I think, just to kind of make it a little bit more manageable when we're